Hello, welcome to Retro Toy Princess. I'm Allison Troy. Today we're going to be doing a flip through and coloring of a 1997 Star Wars coloring book. This was released in 1997 as part of the big push of the Star Wars Special Edition re-releases. This is called Heroes and Villains. It's by Golden Book. I recently got this on eBay. I think it was like 10 bucks with shipping, so it's obviously out of print, but it is still fairly easily obtainable in non-colored condition for pretty affordable pricing. So it is Heroes and Villains. It is a flip turnover. So one side is villains, the other side is the heroes. So we will start on the hero side. As you can see, this is vintage. There are a lot of these in good condition though, because this is sort of the height of the first phase of adult collecting, where there were adults who collected, who were buying things to save them for all time so they would be worth lots of money and we could all pay for college and McMansions and all of that. Didn't quite work out that way. But I will say $10 plus shipping is a little bit more than what the original cover price was, which it's not on here. I did buy this originally when it came out. Colored in that one. Not sure where that one is. It's probably in storage somewhere. But it would have been like $3-4 probably. So, you know, not a huge difference in almost 30 years. It does have in both the front and the back sort of this generic background page. It does have easy tear pages, which I'm not going to color directly on these. I learned my lesson with that Strawberry Shortcake Advanced coloring book. I have already, before recording this, I've scanned this book and cleaned up the images. And, you know, and I'll color from those. And that way this stays mint. And at some point, if I sell it or give it away, that way somebody's getting a clean book. It has this title page with 1997 Lucasfilm Golden Book. And we open with Luke Skywalker. This is an old style coloring book, so it is, pages are front and back. These are very basic pictures. It's just some line art with not much background, which is kind of why these are fun for me. I can do these pretty quick. They're also fun for doing shorts with, and it's, you know, everyone's, pretty much all of the major characters are in here. So 3PO and Archie, we get a little bit of Tatooine in the background. Obi-Wan. Here's Yoda, and this is the one I'll be coloring at the end of this video. As you can see, we get a little ground, and guess it's a log. But not much else. So again, pretty quick and easy to do a lot of these. So if you are somebody who is wanting to get back into coloring, I would recommend this book because it's pretty simple. The line art is nice, but it's basic. So it would be a good place to start again if you've been out of coloring for a while, I think. You know, and if you want to get fancy with the backgrounds, there's plenty to get fancy with. Chewbacca. They are kind of cartoony. This was kind of one of the styles that a lot of Star Wars stuff was sort of being rendered in back in the day. So we have a very sort of, it obviously is supposed to look like Harrison Ford, but it's still almost comic. It's still almost like comic book art. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you'll recognize I did this as a short. This is one of the first shorts that I released on YouTube. So this is where that came from, was this book. That tells you how long I've had this book without doing this flip through. So a nice picture of Lando. And again, his cape, for instance, on the inside has a pretty elaborate design, which is not here. So again, if you're trying to get back into coloring, something like this is mostly okay, but then you could sort of practice doing patterns and stuff. So a lot of potential here. Amon Mothma, Admiral Akbar. Because this was sort of in conjunction with the special editions, but also with the Power of the Force 2 toy line, a lot of the characters in this were characters that Hasbro/Kenner was going to be bringing to the toy line. So some of these characters seem obscure, but at the time they were getting a lot of push in the toys and in various media. So it's kind of like a snapshot of what Star Wars fans were getting back in 1997 to supplement the special editions. We've got Nine Num, Moma Nadon, better known as Hammerhead for all of the children of the 70s, such as myself, who had the original Kenner, but this is sort of closer to what his costume was, but this is still not the exact what he wore in the movie. This is sort of what his costume officially looked like in a lot of the third-party merch and a lot of the artwork, but this is not screen accurate. But again, like I said, they sort of, with this, were going with what was being used in various medias that were being used to promote this special edition. We've got Wedge. Biggs got named because this was right when Kenner was getting ready to release the first Biggs action figure. And Wedge had just gotten a figure around this time. I was about to get one. Wicket the Ewok. Power of the Force 2 didn't release a lot of Ewoks. He's the only Ewok in here. And as you can see, that's the end of the heroes. It flips over for the villains. So yeah, pretty basic. So we'll just start at the back here. Well, you know, in the middle. So we've got Het Niki, I guess that's how you say it, a Jawa. If I remember my 90s Star Wars Expanded Universe, this is the Jawa who shoots R2-D2 in A New Hope before they capture him. One of the things about 90s Star Wars, especially because they were doing all the figures, was everybody got a name. A lot of them came from there's a card game that was coming out, and a lot of the characters would get names from that, or from some of the role-playing RPG games that were coming out back in the day, sort of Dungeons and Dragons for Star Wars. We've got Just a Tusken Raider, fan people. Gartog, the Gamorrean Guard. We've got Geridian, the Mos Eisley Spaceport Spy. He had just gotten his first figure around the time this book was landing, so that was sort of a big deal. It was sort of in this era that Power of the Force 2 by Kenner/Hasbro was releasing a lot of figures we had never gotten. Labria, the Mos Eisley Spaceport Spy, or Devil Guy. I think that's what he was referred to. And when Star Wars first came out, as the Cantina, the Devil Man. Bosk, Bounty Hunter. And then we've got Greedo, also Bounty Hunter. Both of these guys get a little smoke in the background, so they get a little background. Ephant Mon from Jabba's Palace. It's pretty cool. We've got Akbuz Awikwe, Cell Barge Commander, and he actually gets Jabba's Palace and some clouds. So you get a little background for this guy. Salacious Crumb, Jabba the Hutt's court jester. Jabba the Hutt himself, Galactic King of Crime, with his tongue sticking out. Lots of slime. Of course, Boba Fett, the bounty hunter, and he also gets a little bit, it looks like, of Tatooine in the background. Grand Moff Tarkin. His background is the Imperial insignia. We have a Royal Guard. So this one, of course, will be fun. He's all red and some background. Emperor Palpatine, the ruler of the Galactic Empire. And then Darth Vader, the Dark Lord of the Sith. And we've got him, looks like in Bespin, during he and Luke's big fight right before he reveals the spoiler alert fact that he is Luke's father. So, And then that's the end of the book. So it's not a very long book, but it's, you know, it's a pretty good book for what it is. You've got all your major characters here. Again, at the time, a lot of these sort of side characters, especially like these were just the ones that were getting sort of pushed in other media. So, you know, the coloring book would want to highlight that. Anyway, that's it for the flip through. And now we will get to the coloring of the Yoda. So, and for that, we'll put some music on.